Brown and Rihanna had their whole altercation was because Rihanna had sex with Clyde Davis. They were tossing her around.
She was so young. She was underage when she came over here, actually.
Yeah, you gotta understand, it's like, man, you gotta do something for them to get in.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed her to Def Jam.
The social media leak of Rihanna's STD hospital report did not bring her past back to haunt her. Rumor has it that she infected Chris Brown with several sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, in the past by interacting with several business bosses. It seems that this was the true reason behind their 2009 domestic violence incident. But they chose to hide it to make Chris appear like the insane black man who assaulted her without cause. In addition to learning that Rihanna had given him some severe diseases, Chris discovered that the same night he tried to confront her about it. She was hunched over at a party getting her back blown by the same man who had given her the disease. According to Jaguar Wright, and you know what?
He was Diddy's godfather in the industry.
I doubt I need to name him here so you all know who I'm referring to. However, rumors have it that he was having an affair with Ree for a while in return for certain favors from the industry.
He said there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So he was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing. Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? This is her own words coming out of her mouth, and she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew.
These charges were first made by Jaguar Wright and the former aide of Rihanna's wealthy ex-boyfriend. However, when actor Braxton Wells appeared in a controversial interview with Storm Monroe, this was recently pushed back to the forefront of social media.
Some of the stories you've heard about Clive Davis.
I heard stories like the reason why Chris Brown and Rihanna had their whole altercation was because Rihanna had Clyde Davis. But listen, I know they might try to come after me or something like that, but this is what I'm hearing from other people, and it makes sense. Rihanna, of course, is coming from an island. She ain't no U.S. citizen, so she's gonna do anything as possible to do whatever she wants. And I heard that she had with Clyde Davis, and Clyde Davis is the one that discovered Michael Jackson, of course, and she caught herpes from Clyde Davis and gave it to Chris Brown, and that was the whole reason why those guys were fighting. And that's why they tried to protect Rihanna's career that whole time, and that's why they were trying to tarnish Chris Brown, but they can't tarnish him because this guy is very intelligent. And yeah, that's the story. But
I've never heard that. Wow.
Yeah, I heard that from quite a few people that's in the music business, and Rihanna was they were tossing her around.
She was so young. She was underage when she came over here, actually.
Yeah, you gotta understand, it's like, man, you gotta do something for them to get in. And I know quite a few people right now in the business that are trying to make it in the music business, and they're very young. Some people lie about their age too. Some of them say they're 17 or 16, but they've been lying for years.
Yeah, that's like Mila Kunis from That 70s Show. She's married to Ashton Kutcher now, who was at those Diddy parties too. Yeah. But when she came over here, she was actually 14. She wasn't 17. So
yeah. But that stuff is real, man. Like that is a real thing. And
many people trusted him because this isn't the first time he said this. Eventually, people come to the conclusion that everyone cannot be telling the same lie. As you remember, I told you that Rihanna was recently exposed for spreading sexually transmitted illnesses by one of her ex-boyfriends. The conversation was conducted by adult film star Haley Dean and rapper Almighty J, and it got messy very fast, sweetheart. Haley claims that this incident happened a few years ago while Rihanna was out with her boss, who is said to be a wealthy African king. Only a few weeks after they began dating, Rihanna allegedly infected the man with chlamydia. The fact that this man was married and eventually infected his unfortunate wife with the chlamydia he allegedly got from Rihanna is even worse.
They say you look like Rihanna.
She hates me
Why?
because I worked with her a few years ago on, this is when she had her foundation, right before she launched her what was it at that time? That
Fenty?
But no, I think it was before the Fenty, because it was whatever Kylie came out with. They all went in cahoots. They were all arguing with each other, and that was when Kim came out with her line, Kylie came out with her line. But Rihanna had this foundation back in 2015, and it was her white gala, and that was when she kind of like was sponsored on med beds, high tech, all that. Well, I helped fundraise her gala here in Hollywood. Well, she was my boss and gave my boss chlamydia, and here I am, the hoe, alleged. Yeah, I am. But everyone thought that I was the one my boss, and in all reality, it was this. And so it just literally got to the point where all that came out that she got him sick, that because he was married, he's can you put your seatbelt or behind you? You don't have to put it on, but behind you. He's a king, or he's a prince in Africa, and so he came out here back in 2013, worked with Global Canvasser, which was a non-profit, and then worked with UNICEF in the United Nations. That's where I got on, and I was able to partner with UNICEF in the United Nations. So I lived out in Australia for a little bit working with this corporation. Well, right before that,
He also asserted that Travis Scott had gotten the same chlamydia stench from Rihanna. In case you didn't know, Rihanna and Travis met at New York Fashion Week and went on to date for a bit. Travis reportedly begged to keep the relationship a secret, but Lawrence Shulman, one of Complex Magazine's publishers, disclosed the relationship's specifics without his consent. Despite their warnings, I disclosed the details about him and Rihanna. Don't tell anyone I'm smashing Rihanna, isn't what he's saying. This is due to Rihanna's statement, please don't tell anyone that I'm crushing on Travis Scott. Undoubtedly. It's a great embarrassment.
I don't know if it was Travis, I don't know who the Rihanna was that got dirty and got him dirty. And it was this whole thing. Well, she had her gala, and here I am, it was her white party gala. I'm dressed, I'm ready, I'm going after raising so much money for her thing, for his thing, for the company's thing. I show up, sorry Harley, but Rihanna said that you can't get in. Okay, cool. And that was in 2016. And then after that, I ended up partnering more on board with her ex-boss, and his name was Lil Mac Tubaya. What the f are you doing, you fat? No, that was my late. But yeah, she hates me. There's that Foundation song that she came out with, and that was like, I don't lie about this. Like, it's to the point, like, even if I wanted to lie, I can't even make up a lie to lie about it.
In 2012, an unidentified man filed a $10 million lawsuit against Rihanna, alleging she gave him herpes. The man, identified at the time as Chris Brown, was reportedly trying to hide his identity from the media so they wouldn't find out and accuse Rihanna of having STDs. Furthermore, this person, who is still believed to be Chris Brown, asserts that she physically abused herself in response to him accusing her of giving him herpes. The lawsuit claims that, I did not, Rihanna. I vowed to sue her for not disclosing that she had vaginal sores after she gave me herpes. She began hurling herself against the walls and striking herself in the face, much like Jim Carrey in the movie Liar Liar. Then, in an attempt to exact revenge, she turned around and blamed me for the predicament. Chris has never admitted or denied in public that he was the impetus for this lawsuit. But like I said, people believe he's the one. And Jaguar is one of those people, isn't he? She claims that when Jay-Z was blowing her back behind Beyonce's back, Rihanna allegedly got herpes.
No paperwork.
Okay, you never signed no paperwork.
I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the death chit.
The claimed sexually transmitted infection that Rihanna reportedly afflicted Chris with was not further explained by Jaguar. In her subsequent interview, she spilled all the tea this time too.
Are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night, and that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the death jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been mostly involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from his celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z. Underage.
Chris' herpes issue caused him to get aggressive with Rihanna that night. Not only did she infect Chris, but when he pulled up to her at Clive Davis's house to talk about it, he saw that she was chewing on another man's
And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the is this dirty?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh.
And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "She always sucking something." Then he said, "I'm done with you," and he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a sucking and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house the night before the Grammys. She in the car trying to him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the away from her. Because Lord knows he couldn't get away from the herpes.
Oh.
And he hit her back. Calm down.
My.
And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19.
My.
Because he got set up with a that was in a who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri.
Jaguar claimed that Jay and Rihanna decided to make up a story and present another account of events in order to conceal the truth.
And then they sat there, and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk about that little boy. And then they put together that whole sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America hated him for defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's sexy and she's pure. She has all of my respect when it comes to the game.
Ooh.
But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
In case you were wondering where she got all this tea from, Jaguar claims that she was at the party that night and actually saw the entire
Comparison to anything I've heard about the situation.
That's what the happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last Clive Davis kissed the pinky ring party I ever went to.
After learning about this circumstance, things definitely appear a little different. Even if I still don't think Chris was right to touch her. Since Chris allegedly saw Rihanna getting her back blasted at Clive Davis's house, some people believe that Braxton Wells probably mistook Jay-Z for Clive Davis. Rumor has it that Jay gave it to her before presenting her to other business leaders. None of this has been confirmed. I'm only here to reveal the truth. People aren't avoiding thinking about this issue, though, girl. One person said, "You know what's crazy? Family Guy made fun of that." I searched Google for the episode. It's called Into Fat Air. They joked that Chris would receive something from Rihanna. "Oh," Stewie remarked, "that's what took place. These animated shows aren't just cartoons." Another person said, Rihanna even claimed that Jay told her to sign the contract or her exit would be out the window. And they were higher than a few stories. Before she signed it, he kept her in that room by herself for hours after sending a private jet to pick her up without her family. Very dubious. Recall Jonathan's allegation of an affair between Jay and Rihanna? I'm hoping it all works out. But now I'd like to know what you think. What are your thoughts on reports that Rihanna is infecting others with STDs? And do you think that was the real cause of her and Chris's 2009 situation? Kindly leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to click here to view this other explicit video.